And beginning the day. Beginning the day is the day beginning is the time when we recognize to take responsibility for existing. It just with all this kind of feelings and thoughts and sensations and ideas and discomforts and possibilities and memories and all that. Something's come cascading in. So that's really important to get a kind of sort of somewhere a stable point, rather than just kind of get overwhelmed by it or flurry around acting upon it, or just get a stable point. See, which is worth following, which is not worth following. Giving yourself the occasion for time to really let some of those tides be revealed. Is this accompanied by something beautiful that you'd like to make more of? Something really important to you? Or something you feel regret around? So you look at the undercurrents of what a thought or a memory is wrapped in, the tones. And sometimes just this act of just stabilizing, finding a reference point, but also not just the body reference point, we're sitting or standing, but a heart reference point. Actually, much more important, heart reference point. What do I mean by this? I mean that before you had responsibilities and duties, and before you were a mother or a engineer or a manager, before all that, before you had things to do today and things to fix and before all that happens, before all that, what would you be without that? That which has arisen, which you've become involved with. You weren't always involved with it, weren't you? What would it be like if that wasn't there? Since perhaps one day it won't be there. In fact, for sure. So just finding the reference point in the heart to what it's like to be that simple presence. Knowing you're here. Before you have a name, a number, duty. Knowing you're here. The amazing gift of it, mystery of it. A sense of openness. No pressure, no obligation right now. If we want to be responsible, it means we pick things up willingly because we want to respond. So it's not just constant reactions and compulsiveness. It gives us that time to remember something before our identities started to get dense and configured. Simple heart, knowingness, sensitivity. So, but of course, takes a little more than just even these words. Ideas, you may touch that, but remember the heart doesn't believe in words. it needs to actually feel its own resonances of faith and certainty and gladness. You can't conjure these up. But we can establish the conditions. So chanting is what? You know, it means often we're chanting the same thing every day. So it's not something that's about getting a job done, or developing, like this chant, then another one, then tomorrow more and more and more, get the right one. Just means doing the same thing over and over again, because it's not about changing in terms of time, or because that same sound, the same reference point, you want it to be the same, because we're looking at something that's a stable reference. Yeah? And when you look at the kind of things you can find yourselves referring to in a day, the news, it's all pretty messy, isn't it? Upheavals and go and buy this, consume that, and then fear and aversion. Realizing what is the source of all that chaos in the world. Because people didn't stop and reflect and feel their own clarity and steadiness. They got caught up with passion and ignorance and aversion and greed. So, well, you say, selfishness, insecurity, understandable, but not something you want to establish as your own reference point. So the tonality here is realizing, awakening, which is very much the present, the opening in the present, the heart being intelligent, aware in the present, before it becomes saturated with data. Or even when, thoughts and memories and things are coming in, you notice you can be awake, aware of that. And this essential practice of detachment, dispassion, ceasing the reactivity, viveka, viraga, nirodha, relinquishing, subduing, calming the reactivity. When the feelings of these thoughts and memories start hitting the nerves, the heart, it's that sense of agitation, it's calming it, using the body and awareness to step back from that, so calming it, steadying it, relinquishing in relinquishing the wish that it go away. We're in this incarnation with the aggregates arise, perceptions, feelings, form, consciousness. They arise. That's kind of part of the deal of being born, is the descent or the coming into these aggregates, form, feeling, perceptions, activations, consciousness, mind consciousness, sense consciousness, bubbling in. So we just bear witness to that. We don't have to, push it away or we believe in it, get captured by it. It's just that. It's the background hum of the aggregates. If we sensing that, knowing that for what it is, and its turbulence. Is there such a thing as a permanent feeling? Is there such a thing as a permanent perception? There's things that just by themselves are innately changeable, but become repeated over and over again through engagement with them. So you might think you have a permanent problem, because what happens is the mind just goes back and picks it up, 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 picks it up. So if it's calm and steady, and has somewhere else to go apart from this habit of clinging, then these formations, these mental activations, these chains of thought, these emotional patterns lose their power. They subside. So you take something that you get the sense of, I've got so much to do, I can't practice, I can't meditate. I really don't know how to meditate all these years, I never know how to meditate, I don't know what to do. Trying the best I can, just get pain in my body, feel woozy in the head, sleepy, dull, desperately trying to make it all work. It doesn't just feel this terrible state. This kind of activation like that. You listen to it and believe in it, and then you find yourself getting really stirred and miserable. But even hearing that sound of I can't meditate, there's so much to do, I'm really a useless person for all these years. Who's that? Who's saying that? I can't. I don't understand what this is all about. Why do I have to keep? I don't have the discipline to keep this sort of thing going. Anyway, better just go off and have a cup of coffee somewhere else instead. Just a minute. Notice how it has to keep adding more details to keep going. So suddenly a cup of coffee's crept in to the list, and then a memory of so I could go and see so and so today. Or you have to keep adding more and more data to it to keep it going. If you just get the single perception, I'm a useless, miserable person. And without adding, just, okay, I am useless, miserable person. I am useless, miserable person. And then stay calmly, steadily, over and over again. I am a useless, miserable person. Sound, you get these emotional resonances, the sound passes away, you say it again. I can't meditate at all. I can't, then you slow it down and say it again. It's just like, you listen to the sound of your own, of that voice of confusion. And if you kind of pick it up, just hold it carefully, it just suddenly seems like just a ripple in the mind, just a tremble in the heart. You feel the arising of it, open the space around it, and it move through. That's called awakening. You see, we're really encouraging ourselves to just not necessarily have a happy feeling or a pleasant experience, but to dispel the ignorance of not holding things clearly and carefully. Even a miserable thought is something you have to hold clearly and carefully. That's what we mean by responsibility. Yeah. This famous instance where the people discussing whether a noble being has unskillful thoughts or not. And, so somebody says, no, they don't have any unskillful thoughts. I say, well, that's why they're a noble being. And the Buddha says, well, like a newborn baby doesn't have unskillful thoughts, because he hasn't got round to thinking yet. It doesn't mean he's a noble being. A noble being is someone who knows an unskillful thought when it arises. It's an unskillful thought. Knows what it feels like, knows it passes away. That's what he calls a noble being. But the more you cultivate that, you get less and less unskillful thoughts tend to arise, because there's that contentment, confidence, the underpinning of uncertainty and ignorance is dispelled. This is just the mind playing tricks again. This is just delusion weaving around. How pitiful to be caught by this whimpering mood or feeling or thought. So, Buddha awakening, Dhamma, what's actually happening? Sangha being clear about it, being part of that cooperative human effort to awaken in this world. Since that's kind of what the scenario is going to be, isn't it, for today? And every day. Now, rather than making that some kind of, dogged duty, we say we chant as a sense of a supportive, beautiful arising. So this way of realization is beautiful, because it arises with a sense of generous faith, and offering something to you, to ourselves in our presence, rather than demanding that you should become something or get somewhere, accumulate something, figure something out. So just rising into presence. In the chant, because there you hear those same tones, not just the words, but the tones, the long, steady breath tones of chanting that come with chanting, and the reference points, impeccable, noble, wise, directly available, knowing it in yourself, practice with integrity. These reference points that keep touching, that in us which is delighted by beauty, by spiritual beauty. We have that. We've all heard that call of faith, otherwise we wouldn't be here. That loves the sense of integrity, clarity, compassion, the generosity of the Dhamma. Wherever you are, it will come to you if you pause. It comes to you, it invites you, encourages you. And so, this is the reliable, that which invites and encourages you into presence. This is what you can rely upon, not that which keeps pushing you into what you should be, or tempting you to become something, or making you feel unworthy that you're not something. You want to follow those. That's not reliable, friendly, supportive, praiseworthy. This is why we return to the triple gem, and recognizing this very important service to yourself. Just like when you get up, you bathe your face, or you clean yourself body, you should definitely recognize if we don't do this, we come out very untidy, very compulsive. Force of ignorance keeps looking for us. So you want to, just like the soil, the dirt that comes into the body just by being around. We keep cleaning it. Similarly, in this situation, the mind can easily absorb the confusions of sleepiness or the sorrows and sadness in the world. You need to clean, because if we don't, we start the day reacting, compulsive, filled with some kind of confusion and passion, irritation and desperation. And this is just not a reliable way to begin. So we have that sanctuary moment. We extend it. We love it. This is a generous offering. Take the opportunity so you don't regret it later. So once again, I'll leave this space open for you to cultivate quietly, respectfully of other people, standing, walking, sitting, reflecting, thinking things through, what seems to support and encourage your well-being at this time.